thumbs up for the go-getters, the ambitionless, the pierce.
Hey Jiu-Jitsuers, how are we doing? So this is, I guess, a special video that I want to put together. Jiu-Jitsu formed a big part of my life for quite a few years. Now I'm a strength and conditioning coach, and I thought I really wanted to give something back to the Jiu-Jitsu Foundation. So here is a Jiu-Jitsu sort of strength and conditioning themed workout that I want to sort of walk you through and see what you reckon. So basically what I've got is it's got 5 different parts. We have a warm-up, a mobility mini circuit, a strength circuit, some plyometrics, and some core work that focuses on integrations. So I'm going to take you through this. Once I've sort of walked you through it, we're going to head outside. I'm going to demonstrate how to do the exercises. And the idea of this this sort of workout as a whole is that all the parts comprise some of the different elements that are really going to make up a great, I guess, jiu-jitsu player, a great judo player. It's going to really help your skills there. So if we start with the warm-up, I've actually done a separate video on this. It's a raise, activate, mobilize, potentiate. So it's called a ramp warm-up. I've done a separate YouTube video that I will probably add a link to over there somewhere. So go to that one. That's just how you're going to get started. We're then going to go straight into what I call a mobility mini circuit. The 4 exercises that are in this are groiners, grasshoppers, overhead squats, and frog jumps. So a lot of the stuff that are really going to help you go into that bottom position of a squat. I don't know about you, but in Jiu-Jitsu I'm constantly being told to keep my posture upright, but to bend my knees, to let my legs do the work in order to let my technique really kick in. So a lot of this stuff focuses on bending the knees, on getting down to a lower position, and that's what the mobility is going to do. From there, we've got a strength circuit that's built around sort of the 7 primal movement patterns that your body can do. So, I mean, Jiu-Jitsu incorporates a lot of bodyweight movements, a lot of different sort of strength exercises through different planes of motion. So that's why we've got all 7 different movement planes. You can start with them being bodyweight based, or if you want, you can, build up, add some weights to them as you go across. So, what we've got squats, we've got press-ups, we've got some pulls or raises. Now this is typically, a pull is a movement such as this, something that's going to work the back a little bit. So my favourite pull is if you've got a pull-up bar, something you can reach up and grab yourself up to. That's always been one of my favourite pulls. If you don't have access to something like that, you can always do dorsal raises on the floor. You can grab a partner, try and do some assisted pulls, but I'll walk you through that in the next part of the video. We've got lunges. We all know what lunges are, that's pretty standard. We've got some Legged Rdls, again, which I'll walk you through. They're Romanian deadlifts. They're going to help our hinge pants, our ability to bend from the hip. And then we have some twists, because, a lot of jiu-jitsu movements, they do involve twists. They involve combining these sagittal and frontal plane movements with rotation side to side. So that's what we're also going to include. When we move on from our strength circuit, we've then got plyos or plyometrics. So these are big explosive movements that utilize it's type 2B muscle fibers. So these are the ones that allow you to go from sort of, 0 energy to 100% energy as quickly as possible. So if you really want to demonstrate a really big, powerful throw, then it's these muscle fibers that are going to be worked, and that's what we're including the plyometrics for. So what I've written here, I've got broad jumps or vertical jumps. So you can choose which one. You can probably alternate that per workout. And I've simply got 3 to 5 sets of 3 to 5 repetitions. So the emphasis is really on quality as opposed to quantity. So keep the amount you do low, but really focus on big explosive movements, plenty of recovery between them. And then I'm going to finish the workout with some core work. Now, a lot of people, when I say core, they just think it means sit-ups and crunches, and well, yeah, that's going to help a little bit. But the reality is, I guess for Jiu-Jitsu, for Judo, for lots of exercises that are multi-planar, we're looking to integrate our core stability, our deeper core stability, with movements of the lower body. And one of my favourite exercises for this is dead bugs. So I'll demonstrate them outside. Sounds a little funky, sounds a little weird, but we're going to do 2 sets of 10, and they're great for integrating movements of the legs with engagement of your TVA or your transverse abdominis, which is going to have a massive carry across to some of your sort of foundational jitsu movements. So these are the 5 elements for the warm-up. We're going to go outside now. I'm going to take you through it all. But yeah, let's head out. Here you go, folks. We're outside now. I've geared up properly, ready for some jiu-jitsu workout. This is optional, of course, if you're in a park. I probably recommend you don't wear this because you will freak a lot of people out. So we're going to start with our mobility mini circuit, which is going down, okay? So we're going to start with some groiners. These are part of a natural warm-up anyway. So we're down. Hands here. You can take that feet to the side of the hands and back. Feet to the side of the hands and back. And then we can jump between these 2 positions and build it up. From there, our next exercise is grasshoppers. So we're taking our feet and our legs directly through. So from here, I take my leg through, I'm keeping this straight, getting the side of my foot down and alternating. If you want to speed it up, you absolutely can. So that's going to be your second exercise in your mobility mini circuit. Your third exercise is an overhead squat. So what I'm doing is I'm putting my arms overhead and I'm jumping down into a squat. Dropping down and dropping down. So you're noticing this squat what I'm doing, rather than just bending the knees and going downwards, I'm actually sinking backwards a little bit to this bottom position. So that's your third movement. Your fourth one, it's tiring already. It's going to be a frog jump. So your frog jump, back down, hands in front of you. You're taking both feet to the side of your hands here, almost like this bottom squat position. Then we're going to go back, forwards to that bottom squat position. So that's your 4 exercises of your mobility mini circuit. If you just do 10 to 15 reps of each one, you get a pretty good cardio workout. You'll also get quite a bit of mobility through your hips, through your hamstrings, through your lower body. The next bit, after we've done that mobility mini circuit, is a strength circuit. So it's the one I talked about in there, with those 7 different movement patterns. So we're going to start with squats, okay? What I've said is you're going to do 10 to 15 reps of each of these. So we'll start with squats, literally just going straight down, hands in front. Nice for developing strength through those legs. That's your first exercise, 10 to 15 reps. Your next one is I've got press-ups. And there are a lot of you guys, a lot of you girls as well, really don't like doing the press-ups. I've heard a lot of complaints about press-ups with Jiu-Jitsu, but they do form a bit of a part, so we're gonna have to include them. Hands out, hands underneath shoulders, moving that body as a whole unit, up and down, full range of motion. So that'll be your second exercise. Your third is a pull or a raise. As I talked about earlier, if you had a pull-up bar, that would be ideal. Since we don't have one, I know I don't have one out here, a nice exercise I like to do just to work on some of the muscles of the back is just a dorsal raise. So I'm just down, and I'm just raising the front of the body, holding it up. So it just works some of the muscles of the lower body and the back. Our fourth exercise is lunges. We're going to go really simple with these. So if I just get myself a bit of distance, I just like to go forwards, down to 90 degrees, up, down to 90 degrees, and up. 10 to 15 reps. A nice unilateral strength exercise, so it helps to balance out your strength through both of the legs. Fifth exercise is our hinge pattern. So this is a one-legged RDL. An RDL is a Romanian deadlift. So what are you doing? We're going to be on one leg, we're going to hinge backwards, and then you're going to touch those toes. So you've got that pattern. You can do a few on one side, and then a few on the other. You'll notice what I'm trying to do, I say trying, is keep my shoulder blades together and really use the hamstring and the glutes to fire upwards. So shoulder blades together, hamstring and the glutes at the back to fire myself upwards at the end. It's going to develop a nice hinge pattern, a lot of strength through the posterior chain, your hamstrings, your back. It's going to get you a lot of explosive ability back in the dojo. What have we got next? We've got twists, so a twisting exercise. If you've got a partner, any resistance cables, you can use these to do sideways movements. But a basic twist, you can literally go up and bring yourself across, and up and across. You can also integrate it with different movements, so you can do a lunge going down and twist to the side. You can do lunges and twist into the side. So it's just adding a bit of transverse plane motion into another exercise, or doing it on its own if you've got some kind of cable or piece of resistance equipment. They are all your 7 exercises, so let's move on to our plyometrics. Guys, we're down to the last 2 parts of this workout now. The next bit is plyometrics. So plyometrics are already described indoors. I'm just going to demonstrate them to you. You've got broad jumps and you've got vertical jumps. A broad jump is jumping as far as you can for distance. So where's the best? If I head over here, what I'm going to do, I'm literally going to try and swing myself forwards and towards you over there. So what I do is I bring myself down, getting ready to bound forwards, then I'm going to throw those arms out and land in a forward position. So I go from here, jump, and I land. Bit of a sloppy landing, not ideal to do on barefoot on concrete, so wear some shoes for this, wear something that's going to absorb a bit of the shock. But that is your broad jump, and then your horizontal, that's your horizontal movement, and then your vertical jump, your vertical movement is exactly the same. We get in this start position, but we're going to swing our arms upwards, let the momentum carry us up, and jump off these legs as high as we go. So we're going nice and high up if we can manage it. So they're your 2 pieces of plyometrics, 3 to 5 sets, 3 to 5 reps. That's probably what I get doing there. Brings us to the last bit, which is core, or core integrations. So what I'm going to demonstrate is a dead bug exercise. We're going to jump down here into this bottom position. Looks a little strange, so bear with me. What I'll be doing is going down, taking my legs up to this 90-degree position, one arm out. And what I'm going to do is take this leg to the floor as I take this arm down. And back to the center. Same again, and back to the center. Now, the trick to this exercise is what we're trying to do is keep the core braced as we move the legs all the way through. So what you can do when you're in this position, you want to almost imagine tucking your bum, like tucking your hips under. So what I like to grab is grab my hand, place it underneath my lower back, and I want there to be no gap there. So by extending my hips, I should really feel a lot of pressure put onto the hand by my lower back to get rid of that gap, and then I'll perform exactly the same exercise, keeping that pressure all the way through to keep the abs and to keep the core engaged all the way through. You do 10 repetitions, and you do 10 on the other side using your opposite leg and your opposite arm. And that, folks, is that. That will be your entire workout from the start to the finish. We've worked through a warm-up on the separate video, a mobility mini circuit, we've worked through a strength circuit, we've added in the plyometrics that I just demonstrated, and then the core, which I just did there, which is your dead bugs, engaging that transverse abdominis. That is your full Jitsu workout. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe, like it if you like it, and thanks very much, guys.
Well, I'm